Hi, Patrick here. Have Cheetah Will View. It is 9 degrees here in southeastern Michigan as we sit down to do this review. Uh, Me and the Cheetah, we just finished watching a film that we've had for a minute, and we went ahead and took a look at it, and it is this one, The Girl in the Crawlspace. The Girl in the Crawlspace is a 2018 film. It was written and directed by John Oak Dalton, who we had as a guest on the Midnight Hour. It stars Aaron R. Ryan, John Hambrick, and Joni Duran, and Tom Cherry. The story is, I'll read the synopsis here. Hopefully won't magoo it too bad. It says, after escaping from a vicious serial killer who kept her prisoner in a crawl space, Jill tries to work her way back to a normal life with the help of Kristen, her therapist. But when Kristen's husband, Johnny, a failing screenwriter, mangled that one, begins to using Jill's ordeal in the basis for his new script, he unwittingly puts all their lives in jeopardy. Okay. So basically, part of that is right. And that is, yes, we see Jill. She escapes from her tormentor, and she escapes. And we really don't get any backstory. We don't get really only that she was kidnapped 7 years ago and had been kept prisoner, and then she escaped. And she's in a very, very small town. And yes, she is lost. We meet Kristen, her therapist. Her and her new husband, Johnny, have moved in from Los Angeles because Kristen was a therapist. And while Jill has escaped from her captor, and in which the captor has been killed, there's still missing children in the town. Unlucky town, right? So Kristen, being a therapist, is there to help the families cope with that. And the sheriff asks Kristen to keep an eye on Jill, to let him know how she's doing, and if she needs any help, to let him know. As Jill has taken to sleeping outside that small town, she doesn't want to be enclosed. She has a fear of enclosement. So Kristen agrees to help out, and while Johnny is having a hard time with writer's block, and he's also in AA or NA. Kristen wants him to go ahead and find a group to help maintain his sobriety, but he finds a gaming group instead, and he tries to join in with them to play a game he hasn't played in a long time. So I'll be honest with you. This is a talkative film. There's really no action in it, not to the very end, and it's very, very tiny. It was made on a low budget. This is John's first film. As far as the director goes, he has a small budget. He makes the most of it. They don't say how much the budget is. There is a director's commentary. So I'll tell you what I think about the film. I can't reveal too much about it because the movie is very short. It's 73 minutes long. If I get into too much detail, it'll give it away. But you meet our players, our four main players. You meet Jill, you meet Kristen and Johnny, and you meet the marshal, Woody, the sheriff Woody. And those are our four main principals. So this is what I think about the film. It's actually pretty effective. I do definitely believe that it's saved by Joni Duran, who played Kristen. She is far and above the main reason to watch this film. She plays Kristen. She is really strong in this movie. It's like, it's two movies, actually. It's like the movie everybody else is in, and then there's her movie, because every scene that she's in, she really sparkles in. I will say this for Johnny Hembrick, who played, for John Hembrick, who played Johnny, and this is a compliment when I say this, but man, you're Johnny is a piece of work. He really is like, you just don't know what Kristen sees in him other than trying to rescue him from himself, because they have no compatibility at all. He's really very unlikable in this film. I mean, he's almost equal to the villain. In all honesty, I mean, he's really not a nice person at all. And of course, then you have Jill, who's played by Erin Ryan. She's very sweet, but she really doesn't get much to do until the end. And then even then, it's a little bit jarring. She goes from walking in a fog to suddenly, badass, and it's a little jarring. But for the movie, I'll go with it. I'll allow it. I just wish that she would have done this a little earlier, because we just see just a glimmer of what her character could have been. A little more edgier, a little bit more self-assured. And of course, Tom Cherry played Woody, and he's really good. He's really good as well. I really liked his character as well. I like the parts more than I like the sum. I like the parts, I like the acting more than I like the story. I didn't really like the story too much. I thought it was just a little bit, I don't know, it didn't ring very well. And some of the acting, the scenes where Johnny's going to supposedly go to an AA meeting, and he ends up playing like a variation of Dungeons and Dragons. Well, that was painful to watch. They weren't very good actors in there, and it was painful. But outside that, the rest of the movie was really pretty interesting. I really would have liked to seen, this movie only runs for 73 minutes, and it really could have ran for at least 90. It would have been nice to see more of the actual kidnapping of Jill. Would have been more interesting to see a little bit more of her being, her dealing with her, what's going on. Her character. I mean, she sounded like a really interesting character, but we really don't know her through what other people say, and we don't see it through her. And we catch glimpses, but it isn't until the very last end that we see what it could have been. If you can understand what I'm saying. Her character was really interesting, but just didn't get a chance to really show much of that. I really liked the ending of the film. I thought the ending of the film was pretty interesting, and I liked it. I thought it was it was fitting, definitely. I liked that quite a bit. I thought that showed some innovation, and I agree with their commentary. I'm glad they just showed the last scene how it was, and they didn't add anything to it. It made it more effective. So all in all, I mean, the acting's good for the main principals, for the four leads, not so much for the supporting. The story has promise, but it needed more time to cook. It needed a longer time. 73 minutes was too short, and you really missed too much of the story. It needed to be stretched. Kudos for shooting on location. The location shots were really cool. I really liked that. It was shot in John Dalton's home. They used, so like I said, it's a small budget film, but they used every penny they had on the film. So kudos for them. As far as the film, it's rated R for language, which seemed overkill. I mean, you could have gotten away without all that language and got it in at PG-13 and still not have missed a thing. Still wouldn't have missed anything. There's no violence in this movie. just nothing more that you would see on a Lifetime movie. Probably less than that. So the R is for strong language. Um, yeah. The extras include a director's commentary with John Oak Dalton and the producer, Henry Cotto, Henry Kudo, which I recommend. It's a strong one. I really enjoyed the commentary and how they made this film. So overall, I'm gonna recommend it. I'm gonna say give it a watch. Now I don't know. I mean, it's one of those watches. I'm gonna say watch it for the four leads because, like I said, they're really strong. In fact, I want to get more with. I got to find more movies with Joni Duran on there because, like I said, she was head and above. And I don't think that's necessarily any slap against like Aaron Ryan or anything like that. It's that she was just given a better part. She got more chances to actually do some acting, while Aaron was just mostly, her acting was mostly in her face and facial reactions, and sometimes that works, sometimes that doesn't, and I just didn't feel for me it worked. So all right, The Girl in the Crawlspace. I picked up my copy at Dollar Tree for this. I didn't want to do a Dollar Tree theater review on this. I wanted to talk about it now because I just watched it, and I wanted to talk about it and get it out there. And I'm going to put the link to our interview with John Dalton down in the description box, along with everything else. You guys can check that out. All right, that's it for me and the Cheetah. We are out of here. Thanks for watching. Wow, 12 minutes. Oh, well, I'm almost making the sequel right here. That's it for us. Thanks so much. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification button, and drop a comment. Peace.